Hello everybody and welcome in. Today we have here the Beyblade X Hasbro Stadium. The Bucket Stadium, not the one that comes in the stadium set. So, as of the time I'm recording this, it is the second day of Hasbro's Beyblade X release in North America, and thanks to Amazon, I was able to get this stadium even though basically no stores have any Beyblade X in stock. So what we're going to do today is we're going to test it a bit. I'll figure out my first impressions and hopefully help you all make yours. So to start off, we're going to do this simple. Just take a single bay, see how it works in the stadium, see if there's any initial problems or issues, just, the basics. So, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Okay. That does not seem like the most promising start. Let's try it again, though. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Okay. It doesn't seem like it's fully going through the line. Like, on the Takara Tomy Stadium, it seems a lot more fluid, I guess? I don't know. But it's not too bad. Let's just do this one more time. Okay, see, that dash was good, but then it hit the dash line again and just kind of imploded. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it doesn't even roll against the rail the same way that the Karatomi Stadium would, which is odd, but that's one bit out of like more than 20. So, to test it out more, we're going to try it with some other bits. Next, we're going to be using low flat on a completely random combo. Ignore that. I don't use low flat very often, but 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Okay. That seemed better than Dran's sword, at least. Yeah, it's a lot more consistent with that, eh? Let's give that another try. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Yeah, that's okay. It's not okay. Well, it's not the best, but it's not too bad either. Also, another thing I've just noticed. I'm pretty sure the stadium. Huh. Okay, it looks like it, but actually, it doesn't have the same like bump in the center of the stadium that the Burst stadiums did. Although, as far as I can tell, it is like flat in the center, so weird, but Hasbro can be weird with their stadium sometimes. So the next up is a cell on Shark Edge 460. Let's see how this goes. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Okay, that doesn't. I mean, no, okay. It can hit the rail fine, but it seems really likely to kick back off it or just fail completely. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Yeah, oh god, why is it jumping like that? Hmm. Okay. So maybe it's just really prone to recoil. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Yeah, alright. Also, definitely annoying how they made the stadium in a way that, made so that it moves all the time. That could screw up battles. Okay, let's see. So far, we've tested it with flat, low flat, and a cell, and it doesn't necessarily seem too bad on either. Although, to be completely honest, I did try this earlier with, well, I had to do another recording that I accidentally screwed up, and on that, the results were pretty different. If I can make the footage semi-decent, I'll put it up here, but Let's see. This time we have Quake on Drigger 460. As I said, ignore the combos, they're weird. Alright, 3, 2, 1, let it rip! But it used the rail surprisingly well for Quake. 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Seems like they can hit the rail fine, but then they're really prone to self-KOing. Well, with that, we've tested all the flat variants I currently have access to. So, to continue testing, we're going to be using these Gear Point and Gear Ball. Neither are Gear Flat, but yeah, anyways. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. This is Gear Ball. Okay. That doesn't seem the best. Let me try that again. 3, 2, 1, let it rip! That doesn't seem good. I mean, it's not as bad as the first recording where it would just completely stall on the rails, but I don't know. Hold on. Let it rip! You notice for those brief moments it just doesn't move at all? Like that, yeah. Okay. If you're asking me for my first guess, I think it's because... Oh, didn't mean to do that. I think it just has something to do with the different way they made these rails. Like, they're a fair bit longer than the Takara Tomy ones, so I'm gonna guess something about that makes Bays just stall? Hold on. Let her rip. Also, as far as I can tell, part of it might be, like, flat. Yeah, actually, I think this part right here, you can tell that it reflects differently. I guess that means it's like, yeah, that would seem to be part of the problem. Okay, last up, gear point. Let's see how this goes. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Okay. Yeah, I think the stadium is just very prone to self-KOs. Which actually does remind me of a question I had. Which of these is supposed to be the extreme zone? Because as far as I can tell, they're completely symmetrical. Which would mean that you can't really... I mean, I guess it'd be this one right here since it's directly across from the accelerator rail's output point, but uh, I'm not sure. And this didn't come with an instruction manual or anything either, because it's a stadium. So I guess it might say something on, like, its page on the Hasbro website, or who knows, really. But, okay. Let me try that one more time. And yeah, there it is again. It's different from how it stalls on a... Yeah, it's just like near completely frozen. It's different from stalling on a Takara Tomy stadium, where it'll like continue to grind against the rails and move backwards. This is just... it's completely stuck. Huh. And I could tell from my earlier testing that this is a pretty common problem. Thing is, I don't know if that means the meta is better for stamina types or worse. Because on one hand, there's the chance the attack types just get completely stuck on the accelerator rail. But on the other hand, there's the chance the defending bay gets stuck in the accelerator rail, which leaves it wide open for any attacks. It's odd. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, there's no, like, holes or anything in the stadium here. Although, there are a few bumps now that I'm noticing it. Honestly, I would say, just as a first impression, if you're going to get the stadium, try to get it from an actual store instead of Amazon, because it kind of came, like, banged up and all. And yeah, now that I'm feeling it, it has tons of small bumps. Actually, one more thing I do want to test is point, actually. Because I need to make sure that flat's behavior was because of its, like, gear ratio and not just because it's flat. So I'll have to test point and taper also. With that, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Okay. It at least seems... Yeah, okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, again, it's just completely stuck. That seems really not good. I can imagine all too easily somebody winning 6-0 and then getting completely screwed over by something like this over and over again. Let's see. There is a bump. I wouldn't say exactly on it, but it is near. Huh. Alright, and now we have our Taper Bay, Night Shield 380 Taper, which, if I remember right, was a pretty competitive combo back at the start of Beyblade X, so let's see. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. I don't like the way that sounded. It definitely doesn't sound like your normal Extreme Dash. And notice how it kept, like, shooting off the rails? I mean, that happens with the Tomy sometimes too, but it just kind of feels different with this stadium. Keep in mind, I could be over criticizing here, but I'm really not sure. Okay, so now it's gonna relaunch every bay I've tested just so we can see collectively what it looks like. Starting with Dran Sword 360 flat. Okay. And low flat. Okay. Then a cell. Then Quake. Then Gear Ball. And Gear Point. Then Normal Point. And last but not least, Taper. Alright, so one thing I feel the need to immediately call to attention is the fact that 3 whole bays all ended up in one specific pocket, which can't be a coincidence, seeing as this and the far right pocket are the only ones I've seen bays get stuck in so far, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so now that we've done solo launches, we're gonna try a few battles to see if that's all too different. Speaking of hard hitting, notice the fact that the stadium does not have a cover on it, which I get why, but it's a little nerve-wracking. Anyways, 3, 2, 1, let it rip! An immediate jump KO. Honestly, half of the problem there is my launching, but the other half is the stadium. Because I've noticed from the few brief battles I've had that uppercut attack seems to be a very serious problem on the stadium for some reason. It's probably has something to do with the way they made it. Anyway, score is 2-0. 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Alright. I figure you can't really gather all too much data from certain on attack versus attack testing. So, what we will do now... Yeah, this will work. We'll do Wizard Arrow 570 gear point, versus Shark Edge 460 Excel. And keep in mind, these are not the Hasbro versions of the bays, because, as I've said, they've hardly been distributed yet. But once they do come out, I promise I'll do some testing on it, including checking how Gear Flat reacts to this stadium once I get a Soar Phoenix. Anyways, 3, 2, 1, and let it rip! Okay. Easily the longest battle we've... Wow. Yeah, okay. Maybe this isn't as bad as I thought it would be for attack types, because it is extremely easy to get KOs on the stadium. Interesting. Let's give that another try. 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Okay. Jeez, yeah. See what I mean when I say that upper attacks are a problem. Let's give that one more shot before we swap A's again. 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Okay. Huh. Okay, now that we've done that, we do have to try some of the more defensive bays in the stadium too. So we have here Hell Scythe 560 Ball and Shinobi Shadow 370 Gear Ball, both stamina combos that have decently high recoil, so we'll see if this makes any difference. 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Okay. So far in all the battles, I haven't seen any stalling, but there's always the chance that's an issue with my launch technique. So just to be thorough, we're gonna be swapping back to single launcher real fast. Let it rip. And rip. Yep. Okay, so it is extremely easy to launch bays in the stadium. Although you do have to keep in mind that winder launchers aren't actually as well distributed in Hasbro X as they are in Takara Tomy. The only way to get a winder, or pro launcher as I think they call it, is by buying it individually. The launchers they actually recommend to you are proto launchers, which sadly I don't have access to as of yet, and string launchers, which conveniently I do have one of for us to test with. So we have here the launcher that comes with Phoenix Wing or Soar Phoenix for Hasbro. And seeing as all the other products seem relatively one-to-one, I think these launchers should be relatively the same strength. So hopefully this gives us a bit more accurate of a test. Each one let it rip. Right. String launcher users, please ignore the atrocities I am currently committing. Jeez. One hit and they both just go completely flying. I think that means there's like no friction on the stadium, I want to say. Which would make sense because it is very smooth. Okay. Yeah, it is kind of concerningly easy for these bays to just tip out of the stadium. Let's give that one more try. Go shoot. Here's one, go shoot. Okay. Yeah. Even between two stamina types, it's just one hit and it's over. I guess I should see if that's the case with all of them. In order to do that, we have Shark Edge 460 Excel again, and Wizard Rod 560 Hexa. Hopefully with this we can see if the different gear ratio actually does make a difference, because the Takara Tomy branding would say that they can pull off extreme dashes easier, but the Hasbro branding would probably say they don't even need it. Rip. And let it rip. Alright, Wizards win that time. Let's get that one more try. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. And 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Alright. Okay. Alright, here we have Viper Tail 380 High Needle and Hell's Hammer 980 Low Flat. I'm curious with like how easy it is to blow bays away on the stadium. I'm wondering if this makes High Needle any worse or upper attacks any more viable. Let's do this. Although, keep in mind, this could just be the severe difference in my launch power with string launchers making the difference, but... Okay, hold on. Here's what we'll do. I'm going to launch Viper Tail using a ripcord, and then I'll launch Hell's Hammer using the string launcher, and I guess we'll see if that does anything for us. 3, 2, 1, let it rip! And 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Okay, Hell's Hammer immediately goes up to the rail. Yeah, okay. One thing I can say is the bays on higher heights will do significantly worse in this stadium. And I do think that applies to High Needle, sadly. It's rough because I really do like High Needle. Although I guess there is always the chance there's some combos that can make it work. Alright, now, one last before we wrap it up. We'll keep using Viper Tail, but swap in Shark Edge for Hell's Hammer. Just to test the upper attack theory. Rip. And let it rip. Oh boy. Alright, now what if I were to launch it back into the stadium? Yeah, okay. Alrighty, now I guess on to my final first impressions on the stadium. So, my final thoughts on the Bucket Stadium. While I wouldn't necessarily call it bad, I'm not so sure I'd call it good either. The bays can like get stuck on the rails, and it's way too easy for them to get sent out of the stadium. But for a bucket stadium, I think this is one of the best Hasbro's made, ironically. But it's just the rails mostly that's the big problem. Honestly, the only time I could see myself seriously recommending this stadium is if you're just stopping by Target to buy some random Beyblades to battle your friends with. If you're actually like serious about getting into competitive or just want a good consistent stadium, I think it's best to just get the stadium set, especially seeing as it comes with some pretty good parts in 360 Russian paper and Drenn. But so yeah, if I had to rate it out of 10, I'd say I give it a 6 or so. Because like I said, while it isn't bad, it's not really good either. But I think that'll about wrap it up for now. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching this far, and I will see you all next time.